I'm happy to see what else to do in this odd noisy world. Hello everybody and welcome to another Digimon video.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of my Just a Dude podcast. The thing that I learned about failure and a lot of this path when it comes to becoming a content creator, or really choosing anything that it is that you want to do or be, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to look at it and say, oh, that's not conventional, that's not going to get you any money, you're not going to make it anywhere trying to do that, there's already too many people, or something along the lines of that. There's always going to be that negativity. But that negativity should never be a reason for you to stop. Just because someone wasn't able to make it that way doesn't mean that you won't.
Look at my test. 5 D. Oh no! We're going down! We're going down!
Antenna very cute. The ABC, conceptualized in 1934 by John F. Vincent Atanasoff, it was actually completed and created in 1942. Not just the world and support that intelligence. It would also be used to processes of the operating like that's for you. Oh no. Hey, that. Am I gonna talk like this the whole weekend? I don't know. Hey.
Hello everybody and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for a first look at Gorgonian.
Yeah,
Love train rolling on through. Choo choo. Hello everybody and welcome to the circle. Run around the circle. Run around the circle. Run around the circle. Circle running. Circle running. Myself alive again. Circle running.
I'm happy to see what else to do in this odd noisy world. Hello everybody and welcome to another Digimon video.
Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of my Just a Dude podcast. The thing that I learned about failure and a lot of this path when it comes to becoming a content creator, or really choosing anything that it is that you want to do or be, because there's always going to be somebody that's going to look at it and say, oh, that's not conventional, that's not going to get you any money, you're not going to make it anywhere trying to do that, there's already too many people, or something along the lines of that. There's always going to be that negativity. But that negativity should never be a reason for you to stop. Just because someone wasn't able to make it that way doesn't mean that you won't.
Look at my test. 5 D. Oh no! We're going down! We're going down!
Antenna very cute. The ABC, conceptualized in 1934 by John F. Vincent Atanasoff, it was actually completed and created in 1942.
Welcome everybody. Let me introduce our players. We have Orin, played by Audacia, Rogue, played by Remy, Pharaoh, played by Geisaphage, and Carousel and Zafira. played by Chef. And of course, there's me, your DM, Asian Fasha Gamer. And together we are the DN Doofs. Hey everybody, thank you for joining us for today's stream. I'm Mr. Announcer, and I'm just here to let you know that there is going to be minimal to no interaction during the campaign, but we will have moments where we will take pause and be able to talk to all of y'all. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode of The DN Doofs. Alrighty then, everybody, welcome to another episode of the DN Doofs. You have me, your DM, and of course, we have our cast. I do want to give them a second to introduce themselves with them and their character and their class. Going in a circle, starting with... it might not be back yet. Instead, we'll start with Oda, and then Remy, and then hopefully Geisophage will be back by the time we end this.
Give me a second. I can't breathe.
This is just par for the course. Every time we do an intro, it's gonna be like this somehow.
Yep. Hello, everybody. And he shows up. Do you want to start with Geisophage then?
All right, now the Geisophage is here. Yes, we are alive. I'm so...
Better late than never.
Oh damn! I thought I had a little bit more. Another minute.
Get here on time. Just get here when you can.
No, I was just in another room talking. That's all I was doing.
It's all good. It's all good. Alrighty then. So, welcome everybody to another episode of the DN Doofs live on Twitch. Appreciate all of you for being here. And of course, you have me, Asian Fasha Gamer, as your DM. And I want to give our cast a second to introduce themselves, who they are, their character, and their class. Starting with Geisophage, then Remy, then Oda.
Hi, guys. Phage. I'm playing Dr. Pharaoh's Hyloon, the Artificer Warlock. I do D&D content, do my own campaigns, also doing Digimon D&D.
Folks, I'm Remy. I'm playing Roke, the Jatarian Elf Artificer.
Hello, name's Odacia. I'm playing Orin, the Brass Draconian Bard.
And together we are the DN Doofs. Of course, as those of you who are regulars here have noticed, we're missing one of our own. But worry not. He will be here in this episode in a very special way. You're just gonna have to stay to find out how. Alrighty then, let's do a small recap of what happened last time in the last episode. In the last episode, our heroes took some time at the tavern and had some fun, had some laughs, and watched someone make an ass of themselves. All the while, Orin showed his prowess as a bard. The sun rose, and bringing a new day, Remy, along with our intrepid adventurers, aid in the technological efforts of the Carti guilds and create an unexpected experience. To celebrate, as if right on cue, a carnival rose into town. It's eccentric, it's eclectic, it's got clowns. Let's see what happens next as we continue our adventure with our DN Doofs.
Who the fuck's Remy?
Oh, shit. One moment.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I had to.
Oh.
So yeah, we made a weapon of mass destruction last session. We had an Oppenheimer moment.
Yes, last session. our
It's not a weapon of.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. Pharaoh started a sentence with something you never want to hear an artificer say. What is your view on war crimes?
It was met with a resounding, "It's not a war crime if you win."
Oh, Canada. Alrighty then. Where we last left our intrepid adventurers, they were making their way into the tent, being led by Muckstick and Fuckstick.
I have a doll and a balloon.
And yes, our adventurers did get some carnival prizes by talking with, well, the orc and the one that had a stroke.
Made us all feel bad.
And now, as
Yeah, and then I got my card, any card.
now, as our heroes enter into the tent, they see bleachers, a center stage made of a very large, tattered, somewhat stained carpet. There's hay on the floor to help muffle out all of the dust that is on the floor. And in the four corners, you see four very well armed kobolds. And at the very center of the stage, as all of you are getting funneled into the seats, although in truth, the crowd is a little bit sparse. There's you guys and a few children, a few parents, but they're not selling out any tickets here. Now, at the center stage, you see a well-dressed, yet even though he seems like he's well-dressed, you can kind of tell that the clothing that he's wearing is a bit oldie and moldy. And he has two performers behind him, juggling knives, and Muckstick and Fuckstick are standing in front of him on either side. Somehow, as they walked in, their clothing has changed from an elaborate jester outfit to a more simple clown outfit as y'all take your seats. The crowd shuffles in, everybody's sitting in. The lights dim. Well, they snuff out some of the torches, dimming the lights. And at the center stage, the MC opens their mouth, and you hear, "Welcome, one and all, to the wonderful world of Muckstick and Fuckstick's Carnival of Fun. I present to you our jugglers." And you see the two jugglers start to grab more elaborate items as they start throwing things back and forth, back and forth. This show is going on as y'all are sitting down in these somewhat dirty, actually not even somewhat, they're pretty freaking dirty bleachers. What are y'all doing at this moment?
I press to digitate my seat before I sit down.
I was going to ask him to do the same to mine.
Please.
Across the board.
I'm actually looking around, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking for green or purple lights because this smell like I'm like, is this extra planar crap? Like, I'm like, what the frack kind of tent did we just walk into?
Are you do an Arcana check for me? And as for the prestidigitation, y'all see Roke, do some fancy movements once again. And all of the dirtiness moves aside. You see all 7 colors of semen just move from one side to the other.
That would be a
Crazy.
16.
16. All right, with that 16, you can definitely tell there is magic in the air. It doesn't seem malicious, but it also doesn't seem like it's otherworldly. Not like it's fey magic or anything like that. It just seems like it's what I forgot the name of the word of the type of magic. What is the magic that creates illusions?
Illusionary.
Huh?
Illusory.
Oh, there's not a specific one. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so it's you can tell that it is illusionary magic that is in the air. But as you also, take notice, you also smell a lot of mustiness, dustiness. It is not clean in the air.
Question: are Carousel and Saphira still with us physically?
Roll for perception.
Oh, that is a nat 20. Yeah.
Nice.
Perception.
You are super perceptive. You notice everything. But you definitely notice that Carousel and Saphira, whom were right behind you, when you entered into a darkness you could not see through before you entered into the light of the tent. But they're not there. They were not with the crowd. They were not with you while you were trying to find your seats. And as you're looking around, you can't see them anywhere. And it would be quite obvious because she is a gigantic, well-endowed sapphire dragon. Well, draconian.
Oh no. He cut out for anyone else?
Yeah.
Oh, did you not hear any of that?
No, I heard until the very end. I heard well endowed draconian, and then nothing.
No. That's pretty much where I ended it.
All right, cool. Yeah, Ferris is going to look around and kind of nudge. What's the seating order? Who am I sitting beside? Whoever I'm sitting beside, I'm just going to nudge and be like, I think we're missing the squirrel and Saphira.
What? Huh?
Pretty sure they
Yeah,
came
I
in with
didn't
us, right?
I mean, yeah, they were right behind us.
This place has a lot of illusion magic going on right now.
So as you are all...
Super.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just bantering. Let's go ahead.
Oh, I was actually gonna ask Faja a really quick question. Due to the illusionary magic and the fact that I couldn't see when we walked in, did we pass through some variation of a darkness spell?
Because you weren't essentially paying attention when you were going through, the most you can tell is that it had to have been some form of magic. At least you can assume, because all of y'all have dark vision. You should have been able to see through it just fine, but you weren't.
Yeah, we're dealing with some powerful illusionary magic. Yikes. Do we stay seated or do we start looking around?
Is that not normal for a carnival?
Yeah, I mean, it seems kind of par for the course, doesn't it?
I mean, besides our friends missing, yes. I mean, I would think magic would be used.
One of them does kind of ooh shiny penny, so I mean, maybe they turned around to go play some games or something.
I think we would have heard of Saphira swearing, wouldn't we? Something about damn squirrel.
Gotta be honest, was not paying attention.
Wrong.
I got my balloon and my doll. That's kind of been the high point of my day.
So Roke's into the performance. How good are they?
All right. So as Roke is watching the performance, you see them. They went from knives to axes. All right. Am I cutting out?
Kinda.
Okay.
I can still hear you.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. We're having Discord's having some issues for some reason. I don't know why. But as best as I can. You know what? Let me try this. I'm gonna try this real quickly. This might actually help out. There. All right. So what y'all notice is, at the very least, Roke specifically, because he's the one watching. You notice that the jugglers themselves, whom are actually both half orcs, they went from throwing knives, smaller knives, to throwing axes, to throwing fire, to throwing fire, axes, and knives.
Yeah, I'm engrossed. Roke loves a good show.
And as they're doing this, you start to notice that the axe or the knife, whichever item is in the air, seems to enlarge and grow extremely big before it drops down back into their hands. And the performance continues as you see Muckstick and Fuckstick somersault in between them and start to, well, do clown-like antics. You see Muckstick bring out a seltzer bottle and spray Fuckstick. You see Fuckstick bring out a giant hammer and smash Muckstick into a tiny little pancake somehow, and then them pop back to normal.
I'll nudge whoever's kind of nearby me and be like, I don't know. I think the sword tossers were cooler.
And as this occurs, the MC speaks up and just appears out of nowhere from the very center when you saw them walk off as the performance started, but you don't know where the hell they came from. And they speak once again, and you notice when they're speaking, their voice kind of echoes. It's a lot louder than it should be. They are definitely using a spell to enhance their voice. And as they speak, they say, "Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our next performance." And you see a mist start to rise from the very center of the not the stage, but the carpet, essentially. And this mist envelops the performers, both the jugglers, Muckstick and Fuckstick, and the MC. And you start to hear very sultry music emanating from the background. As the mist dissipates, and you see at the very center a beautiful woman. From the very top, she has dark hair. Her eyes are closed. She's adorned with many different types of jewelry. She's very scantily clad, and as the mist starts to dissipate from her lower body, you notice the entirety of her lower body is a snake. And she begins to dance to this erotic music as you see everyone in the crowd become enthralled by what you see. In this instance, I need everybody to roll a Constitution saving throw.
Does Pharaohs have any knowledge of Yuan Ti?
Of what?
Shit, that's another nat 20. I said, does Pharaohs have any knowledge about the Yuan Ti? And I got a nat 20 plus 2, so 22. There goes all my luck. I hope we don't get to fight.
6.
I'm sorry, Roke, what did you get?
6. I'm soaking it up like a sponge, boys.
Alrighty then. So both Orin and Roke feel aroused, allured. They can't take their eyes off the performance at the moment. And as for Pharaohs, one, you are familiar with this particular species. You know that they are not endemic to the continent that you're currently on, though. So they are quite rare, at least currently where you are. You, though,
Noted.
the moment that you see her start to dance, you hear in your mind, or not hear, sorry, you feel in your mind a hot, almost grotesque kind of feeling that just overtakes your entire body. You feel like you're about to puke, but you don't. But you are the only one who seems to be unaffected by the alluring dance of the performer at the center stage.
So does it feel threatening?
The feeling that you felt, honestly, doesn't feel threatening. It just feels like something reacted in your body to stop something from occurring.
Okay. Well, if it doesn't feel threatening, I'm just gonna look at them. They seem to be enjoying themselves. Can I just like plug my ears?
Yeah, you're more than welcome to plug your ears as you watch the performance. She's dancing seductively as she produces two bells from an unknown location. And rings the
Cut out a little bit
bells.
there.
What's up?
Said you cut out a little bit there.
Oh, sorry. So she dances seductively as she brings out two bells from an unknown location and begins to ring them rhythmically. And in this instance, I'm going to need all three of you to make a intelligence saving throw.
That is a 15.
14.
9.
Alrighty. Okay, so, Roke, you are still enthralled by the dancing, but you are less so hyper focused on her. You seem to have gained some more of your sense of self. Whereas both of you notice Orin start to, well, lose himself. He's pounding on the bleachers and howling and whistling. Ow, ow, ow!
Whoa, whoa, easy, bro. I mean, I know she's killing it up there, but easy, easy.
As you see Orin toss, I'm going to need you to subtract 20 gold from your inventory. And you also see many other men in the crowd who are at the moment right next to their wives. Some of them are next to their wives or significant others who are standing there very, angrily looking at them with their arms crossed as their partners are all the men in the crowd are throwing gold coins at the very center. And you see a little goblin come out of nowhere and just start picking up all of the gold coins as he cackles.
No, I'm not from here. So would pharaohs have any idea if this is legal?
I'm gonna need you. No. Honestly, legality is not necessarily your strong suit, so I don't think you would know.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna lean over to Roke. Gonna ignore Orin for now. I think this is funny. I'm gonna lean over to Roke and be like, is that normal? Do people just throw money?
I mean, I don't know if I would say it's quite that normal, but I don't know. I guess it is the carny, so maybe it's their shtick. I was gonna throw a few gold, but I don't know. Seems a little. They're getting paid plenty.
Should we
Force of payment,
remind
if you will.
Orin that he's married, or let him just keep going?
I mean, he seems to be having the time of his life over there. I'll watch him
That's
pound on the
true.
bleachers and shit.
True, and Saphira's not here. She's probably the one that would throw it in his face the most.
Who am I to judge? Was a pretty good show after all.
Yeah, we'll let Orin continue.
Now, the
Because
show.
It doesn't seem like he's going to get closer.
Now, the show does end, and the music stops, and you see the dancing performer slither her way out of the tent as the MC pops into view again at the very center stage. Orin snaps out of whatever stupor he was in, and he realizes that he was charmed. What do you do in this instance?
Do you yeah, I gotta message you real quick, Faja, because I don't know if this is gonna damage what you have planned.
All right, go ahead.
I'll just take a little brief check around. Just I'm not too terribly worried about it. Like I'm as far as Roke's not like terribly concerned if they wandered off. But I'll just take a quick peek around and see if I happen to see either one of our missing compatriots.
If you wouldn't mind rolling for perception.
Dirty 20.
Shit. Okay. So you look around. God, everybody's rolling 20s today. What the fuck?
It was
Not
dirty.
Orin.
Not everybody.
Yes, true. Anyway, so Rogue scans the bleachers, and he knows exactly what he's looking for. He's looking for Sapphire Dragon, Sapphire Draconian. It would be quite obvious because she kind of stands out. You don't see any of them, and you know for a fact they were right in front of you as you were all filing in. What you don't know is when you start to think about it, you start to realize that there's a small gap in your memory in between when you entered or when you started going into the darkness and when you exited the darkness.
Starting to think we might have been drugged, boys.
Orin lets out a bestial roar. How far away am I from the MC?
You are roughly 20 feet away from the MC.
I'm just going to look at the guy. I'm going to change the spell I'm using, but I'm going to look at the guy and go, "You two-bit lying jackal, what's your problem?" And I'm casting Vicious Mockery on him.
I'm gonna move down 2 seats.
All right, Vicious Mockery. That is a wisdom?
I'm pulling it up right now. I'm trying to find. Yeah, wisdom.
I guess if Roke moves forward, Ferris is going to pull his gun and be like, oh, we going?
No, I'm just gonna move over 2 seats when he starts
Oh,
roaring. I'll just move like, down the bleacher path.
Oh, I thought you meant closer. Okay, never mind. Gun stays tucked then.
A 19. A 19.
Then nothing happens to him.
All right. So when Orin does this, y'all see it, and you know exactly what he's doing. Both of you know exactly what he's doing. But the MC simply looks up and smiles with the biggest of smiles. And you hear from his sonorous voice, "Just you wait. The show's just starting, boys." As the music gets festive and loud, and you see a parade train of goblins dressed in elaborate clothing, followed by kobolds and clowns as they're marching all around the MC, and you hear this loud music. Yes, Oren.
Actually, I gotta wait because the spell doesn't last that long.
All right, so you all hear the most disconcerting chorus of music you've ever heard between the goblins and kobolds with their musical instruments. They definitely make sound, but when you take a closer look, the instruments definitely just look like pieces of junk.
Can I still see the MC?
The MC once again has mysteriously disappeared from the center stage.
Is the MC an illusion?
Well, if you want to know that, you're going to have to roll insight.
Please, dice, start liking me. Eight.
What you can tell is they disappear, they reappear. It definitely seems like they have a solid form when they're there, but that's the most you can tell without, going close enough to touch them.
So, what are we thinking, guys?
I'm thinking I got charmed.
No, yeah, but again, if trying to think, like, would pharaohs have any frame of reference on if this is in any way normal for performers?
Roll history for me, please.
I don't think I'm that bothered. I think I'm gonna kick my feet up and just enjoy the show.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's a nat one, so it's 6.
I'm sorry.
They
Sorry,
must
have
just do it
I-
different around here. I don't know.
Sorry, yes, Oda.
As a bard, have I heard any rumors of this type of carnival? Like, how there's always like the myths of this evil carnival or that twisted carnival. What would I roll to see if I can figure out maybe like if it's a rumor that matches this place?
Roll some history for me, my friend.
16.
All right. What you know of from your travels and from what you've heard and what you've studied is there are a multitude of different carnivals that travel around doing things like this, but the only ones you know of that you've heard of that actually charm their guests are scam artists.
All right, you said there are kids in here, right?
There are kids in here, yes. Now, as this is going on, the performance begins to conclude as you see all of the goblins and kobolds come together at the very center stage, raising their hands up, and you hear, "La!" And a giant purple puff of smoke engulfs the entirety of everything you can see, smell, and touch. So thick is this smoke, you, yourself, cannot see in front of you. And it is in this instance where we are actually going to switch over to see what Carousel and Saphira are doing, for they are not here. Alrighty then, adventurers. As we left the party, we are now here to see exactly what happened to Saphira and Carousel. And last we left them, they entered into the circus. And of course, it went dark. Everybody awakes. Unbeknownst to them, Carousel and Saphira are missing. Where did they find themselves? Tied up in the basement of an unknown location. To them, it's dark, and all they can hear is the muffling chatter above them and slight rays of light coming in.
Just rays of light, not like Charlie's of light or, Pharos of light or...
I'm about to thickness you with the light.
The lightness!
The lightness! So, as both you and Carousel, sorry, both Saphira and Carousel are in darkness. They do not know where each other is currently. At the moment,
they both have dark vision. So can they just not see? Like, is it magical darkness or?
No, there is actually something on their eyes.
Ah.
They are bound and gagged at the moment.
Kinky.
Mm-hmm. Now, Saphira knows that she is bound and gagged. Carousel knows that he is bound and gagged. But neither of them know if they are with each other at the moment.
Okay. Can either of them do a perception check to see if they hear anything?
Yes.
You said bound and gagged. You didn't say anything about hearing.
No. You can definitely do a perception check, and you got to do it. Actually, if you're just hearing, you're not trying to like see anything, obviously. So this works.
Who do you want to make it, or do you want them both to make it?
Both of you.
Okay. We'll go Saphira first. Fuck, she doesn't know shit. That was a 3 on die, so there's no bonus that I have that will actually get hurt in hearing shit.
One question: is Saphira moving around?
Well, I mean, if they're awake, they're going to be moving around and shuffling around, and they go, "Oh, wait a minute, my hands are tied, my feet are tied." So I mean, I'm sure there's shuffling and grunting and all that stuff. So
okay.
Carousel is a +4 to perception. Fucking A, that is a 9. Apparently, they're both still. All
right, so
which way did he go, George? Which way did he go?
Here's kind of what you hear and smell. So Saphira can smell something almost rotting. The smell of blood is definitely familiar, and it's there. But you also you hear something. You hear noises, but you can't really discern exactly what it is because the coverings on your face kind of distort your ears. As for Carousel, you do hear shuffling next to you. You also hear the swinging and clanking of chains, as well as Carousel himself also smells blood and feels the ground is cold and stone.
Okay, are they bound with rope or are they bound with chains?
They are bound with rope.
Can either of them feel... Well, Saphira doesn't matter because Saphira is a fucking weapon. But can Carousel feel if he has any of his weapons with him? Because, I mean, he would know if he has a bandolier on. He would know if,
From, doing a body check, essentially, sensing your body, you feel everything's been stripped from you. You are essentially naked. Actually, not essentially. You are naked.
They even took his cloak?
They took everything.
Ooh. Okay, so super fantastic question. Is the acorn still there? Is the acorn pendant still there?
Everything is off your person currently.
Oh, God, that's gonna be fucking hilarious when he finds that cash. uh, uh, seeing as he is a ranger and does have relatively high dex, we'll go with relatively because that's totally not his highest stat.
And your dice rolls don't seem to be favoring you.
Shut up. Would he be able to potentially slip the rope or try to, like, with a sleight of hand, or I mean, obviously, like, if Saphira tries to get out of her bindings, it's going to be a strength-based thing, because
All right, so let's start with
Saphira's is going to be like, fuck this shit.
Yeah. So let's start with Carousel, and
Okay.
let's have Carousel. If you're gonna try to like slip out, let's do a dex roll,
Just straight dex?
a dex
or-
saving roll.
Come on, dice. Don't be a dick now. Ha I don't need the +6.
Oh, all right.
It's a nat 20.
Okay, so Carousel essentially expertly almost dislocates his shoulders, but not in a way that would hurt him, and just worms and squeaks out of the ropes.
Okay.
Do you take off your blindfold and gag?
I mean, obviously yes.
Okay.
This isn't a fucking club in downtown New York in the back of the in the back alleys of some shit.
Just saying.
He's not into the bound and gag shit.
Okay. Just saying, there's no closer bond than those built in bondage.
Giggity.
Anyway.
Usually there's whips and consent with that.
True. So Carousel rips off the blind and gag on his face, only to find himself, of course.
Carousel pulls the gag and the fucking blindfold off. He's like, man, I didn't even get to tell him my safe word was fluffernutter.
Okay. So fuck. So Carousel rips off the gag, says that.
Says
Fluffernutter. And, it takes a moment for his eyes to adjust to the darkness. He does have dark vision, but he is a little bit bleary-eyed because he was obviously drugged in some way. He doesn't necessarily know if it was magical or through something that he was ingested, but he definitely feels just a little bit off.
Somebody gave him the magical pimp slap.
Mm-hmm. And as you blink a few times and you start to get a hold of your bearings, you see across the way a bundle moving and kind of shuffling. That is a large bundle, quite well endowed bundle. And obviously who that is. But you also yes, but you also see around you a very disturbing sight. There are a few large stone tables covered in blood. A few chunks of meat unidentifiable. A large amount of hanging chains with large meat hooks. And hanging from those meat hooks are torsos of various species.
I swear to God, this is not where I left myself. And if a motherfucker in an apron and a face wrapped around his face and a chainsaw comes in, I'm suing somebody for copyright infringement. Carousel obviously makes his way over to Saphira.
And as he makes his way over to Saphira, he notices, of course, he is completely naked. And Saphira is completely naked. Oh my.
he pulls Saphira's blindfold off, leaves the gag in for a minute because she sees him and starts and like you could just tell she's getting pissed. He goes, listen, before you say anything, they didn't ask my safe word either. And I'm not the one who made you naked. And she like looks down and then she just gets super pissed and tries to break the ropes.
All right, roll a strength saving. We're saving it.
Strength saving throw. Come on, another nat 20. Dice, tell the story.
Please don't tell. Oh, you gotta tell me.
That would be a natural one, sir. She starts flopping around, gets hit in the face with her own tit.
So
knocks herself out.
Essentially, here's what happens. You try to pop your way out, and you are wiggling. And as you wiggle, what pops out is your pop, which smacks you up your chin, making you bite your own tongue.
We got to be careful with that because it's been canonically established that every tit hit is a fucking banishment to another plane. Saphira, stop. You're gonna send yourself to another plane. We already know what happens. And they're a little bit looser now than normal, so they can hit anyone. Hold on a second. Ed, I mean, he's a squirrel. He's got claws.
Yeah.
He's going to rake at the ropes around her around her wrists.
All right. So you carefully cut through the rope, which is just.
Well, I doubt his squirrel claws are, enough to cut through the rope. But I was more going for weakening the rope to get another strength saving roll with advantage.
Right. Well, I was thinking more.
But I shall leave that up to the DM.
I was thinking more like, you start to cut through the strands of the twine rope, little by little, loosening it slowly.
Okay.
Which will allow you to roll at advantage this time.
I swear, if I get another fucking nat 1, I'm throwing this dice against the wall. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, so I have advantage, but that's a fucking nat 1. It bounced off my watch and hit the fucking joint in my desk.
Those fucking dice hate you.
I'm using the dice that love me, though. That's the thing. I'm gonna have to get a separate set of dice for Saphira.
You might need to, because I think those cotton candy dice are Carousel's dice.
Okay, so that would be a 16 plus 4, dirty 20.
All right, so you see Saphira with, her arm still bound and part of the ropes on the lower part of her chest while her bosom is and she snaps the ropes as she, pulls down and outward. And all the ropes snap all together. And Saphira...
Damn, Saphira, I didn't know you were into Shibinari or whatever it's called.
Whoa, buddy. So, Saphira stands, and of course she as well gets her bearings now that she is able to see properly. She is also a bit bleary-eyed and weary because she also was drugged by some either magical or non-magical means. But she also sees the same harrowing sight that Carousel saw. There are large hanging chains with meat hooks. These meat hooks have torsos on them of various kinds. And of course, there are a few bits of body parts on one stone table, and on the other stone table, it is just covered in blood and viscera.
Well, as we've established, when she is not coherent due to non self-induced reasons, she kind of loses her prim and properness. So The fuck? Where the fuck are we? Carousel, I swear to God, whatever the fuck you got us into, I'm going to fucking kill you. I knew we shouldn't have gone. Wait, where the fuck were we? We were at the circus before we came here. And why? She starts gaining composure. First off, why in the fuck are we both naked? I know you've seen me like this, so it's whatever. I mean, we've been traveling together for a while. I'm not super concerned about it because you're the only person down here. And if you try anything, I will kick you through a wall. But we were at the circus is the last thing that I remember. Why are we in some sort of fantasy Bloomhouse style like set for a movie where somebody is wearing somebody else's face? I don't know. I just woke up too and found your naked ass laying here.
So as you are both discussing this, you hear above you thumping, thumping, thumping. And as you hear this thumping, you see a shadow start to move from the one end of the ceiling to the other. And you hear voices. Can't really make out what they're saying, but you hear voices. And you also hear someone unsheathing something very large and very sharp.
Can we see like a ladder or stairs or anything down in here?
So as you are both scanning and you've gotten your bearings and you're a little more coherent than you were, you do notice on the other side, opposite to you, there is a stairway leading upwards to a cellar door.
Are the stairs solid or are they like your stereotypical basement stairs where it's the diagonal frame with like the slats, like where they could get under the stairs?
No, they're solid stone steps like a dungeon.
Okay.
And as you also do look around, you see a few crates, and you also do see a few specks of tattered clothing.
Like, is it the clothing all piled in like one corner type of thing, or is it like just like, oh, here's a fucking shirt, fuck that.
Yeah,
more like pants, fuck that.
More like it seems like they were haphazardly thrown about, not like they were piled up together.
Okay, I guess Carousel, being the ever curious squirrel, wants to go check inside the crates.
All right. Now, when you look inside the crates and you open them up, there are various jars inside, covered by straw, with some strange liquid inside and something solid, but the straw at the moment is distorting the view.
I guess move the straw out of the way.
It's
organs, isn't it?
When you move the straw and you start to peer into the jar, the liquid is a odd green color. And what you see inside, wriggling and moving, are fingers. Hundreds of fingers inside this large jar, moving, but dismembered.
Well, Carousel just freaks the fuck out and fucking jumps back from it. Saphira, what the fuck are you doing over there? What did you find? There's... Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I... When you cut off somebody's fingers, they stop moving, right? I mean, generally, why? When was the last time you cut off somebody's hand and it kept fucking running around like Thing from the Addams Family?
So
well, these fingers aren't. There's fingers in here, and they look like they're gonna be used for a bed in a motel. You know, drop a quarter in, the magical fingers. The fuck are you talking about? And she comes over and looks. She goes, "Oh, I now get the joke. It wasn't funny. You're still an asshole."
So as you guys are looking at this jar, you start to hear something. The chains that have the torsos on them are swinging and swaying and jingling. The torsos are moving.
The fuck is going on in this fucking? Are we in the Little Shop of Horrors or some shit? Like, why is everything still moving? They're pieces and parts.
And as you're talking, one of the crates starts to jiggle and jangle. And you hear a muffled voice come from one of them.
Carousel's a squirrel, so he's gonna go and fucking check it out.
So when you come up to the crate itself is actually nailed shut. It's moving, but it's nailed shut. For you to open it, you're gonna have to do a strength check. A straight strength check.
Saphira, come. I think somebody's in here. Goddamn squirrel's gonna get me killed one of these days. She goes over and she tries to open it.
Roll.
I am making sure that this is a D20. Different dice for Saphira since the cotton candy ones fucking hate her.
What'd you get?
You said this is a strength check, right?
Yep.
It's plus. Correct me if I'm wrong. Strength checks. I use the modifier next to the stat, correct?
Yes.
Not the one for the saving throw.
No, the modifier next to the stat.
So that's a +2. That's a 16.
All right. For your strength check, you are able to remove this crate, which just kind of writes off. You can see the nail is still kind of sticking out of it. And when you take it off and you look down, covered in straw is a bound person. Their mouth is sewn shut. Their eyes are sewn shut. And their arms and legs are sewn onto their torso. And they're wiggling and they're moving. They're obviously alive.
Okay. Since Saphira is bigger than Carousel, could she use her claw to like kind of fucking what is it? Hocus pocus?
You're gonna open up the mouth? Okay.
Yeah.
So as you do this, the person that's in there that's kind of undiscernible. You can't really tell who or what they are because of all the modifications, but they gasp and from their voice you could tell they are male. And they go,
Okay.
"Oh, I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat you. Run. Fucking run."
Would you like us to? Would you like us to help you or just leave you?
It's too late. They already put magic on me. Take me out of here, and I'll only live probably a few minutes. They only leave us alive here long enough so that we're still fresh to be eaten.
Well, I mean, you said it. See you, pal. And Carousel starts walking away.
All right. So Y'all, I'm guessing you guys got to make your way towards the cellar door, right?
Yeah.
As both of you make your way towards the cellar door, it swings open, and a blinding amount of light comes flooding in through the darkness, sort of distorting your view because now you're just suddenly switching from dark to light, and it's kind of blinding you. And you see standing in the doorway of the cellar a shadowy shape that is round. And
Did you say brown or round?
round. And holding in its this figure's right hand is a unusually large butcher's knife. And it is around here where we're going to leave Carousel and Saphira and return to our other party mates to see exactly what they're doing. But we'll be back to see exactly what Carousel and Saphira are going to deal with.
Oh boy.
Alrighty then, everybody. That is what Carousel and Saphira are doing currently. Our party, though, currently is still enshrouded by a white-purple mist of unknown origin. But it is here that we are going to take a small 10-minute break, as we have been live for about an hour, and this will allow our viewers and ourselves a chance to go to the bathroom, even though technically we did have a break. But either way, we're still going to take a break. Thank you all so much for being here, for enjoying the DN Doofs, and for your support. And we'll be back in a moment. Hey there, everybody. I want to take a second to introduce my two friends. This is
Random Skull,
and this is
Mr. Announcer.
And they are my two announcers to help keep things fun. If you want to get to know them better, check out my streams as well as my content on YouTube. Thank you so much. Keep being awesome.
Well, hey there, everybody. Random Skull here. I just wanted to show you some fun highlights from Fasha's streams. Come check it out.
So you were just going after him, weren't you?
No. Yes.
I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, because we're all dudes, hey. I am stuck here and I don't know how to get out.
Do you know what suck the heads means? Because I came down here with Keith once, and he didn't know. And, I mean, it ain't nothing bad. It's about eating.
You're tiring me real fast, son.
Okay.
It's our first Ellis story.
So, people, you know what I forgot? I realized that this is time for us to actually, interact with everybody here in chat. I don't know why I thought different. Brain's not going well right now. Let's turn on the music. Let's chill and hang out. And of course, if you guys have any questions, want to talk, we are here to interact with the community at this instant. I appreciate all of you for being here. I know I'm an idiot. Shut up, Chef. Yeah. And of course, we do also have the ability, if I should have it set up. I'm going to double check to make sure it's set up. But we should have the ability to actually use channel points to request a shout out from one of us as either, one of us in character or myself in one of the characters that I do as an NPC. As well as we're getting very, very close to the point where we can actually start posting this online as a edited content, and it will be on Spotify and YouTube. And in the comments there, you can also request a shout out from one of us, the DN Doofs. That's it. There you are. Yeah, the DN Doof shout out is still there, active and ready. We should be good. Be right back. I'm gonna go stand in front of a fan. Of course, I do just want to say thank you to all of y'all who are watching, enjoying, supporting, and part of the community. I really do appreciate y'all, including, of course, Chef, Oda, Pharaohs, Guys Phage, sorry, and Remy.
Like the shirt.
Yes, this is my Asian Fascia Gamer shirt, which is available in a multitude of colors in a comfortable fit on my merch store, afgbrandstore.com. Dress up the AFG way. And by the way, Chef, I really do hope that you are enjoying your vacation. Both of y'all, truly did need it and deserve it. And I hope you're enjoying your time together and having fun.
Seconded.
And of course, y'all here on TikTok, I do appreciate the views, the likes, and all that because it all supports me as a full-time content creator. But of course, if you do want to check out the fun and be part of the stream, we are live on Twitch at Asian Fascia Gamer. Same spelling as my TikTok tag. The note's right there to tell you where to go. We're doing a D&D livecast podcast, although we are on a small break right now. Yuck. All right. You know how I know it's hot and warm in this room? My phone just overheated and shut off on its own.
Ouch.
Okay, it's comfortable for somebody who's pretty much a lizard.
So basically, if you were in the same room, one of us would be uncomfortable.
Well, no. In truth, I can be comfortable in almost any weather. I mean, I might not like it. Well, okay. I can stand any weather. I might not like it, but I'm stubborn enough to stand there and just take it.
I know. I said comfortable, not tolerate.
Timing was
I
off.
guess that's
My bad.
different. No, it's all good. It's all good. Your timing is perfect. It's not off. You're good. Alrighty then. I just wanted to give everybody a chance. You don't have.
Don't mind my quesadilla plate.
Do you need a little bit longer?
The only thing I mind is that I don't have one too.
Well, thankfully, quesadilla plates are easy to make.
I know. I just don't have one.
I had Taco Bell earlier. Good enough.
No. You gotta remember, anytime you have Taco Bell, you're just renting it.
It doesn't give me issues. I never have an iron stomach.
Talk about a constitution.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know what your con save would be IRL.
Alrighty then, everybody. Are we ready to get back into it? All right.
Wait. Yeah.
All right. Pause the music and let's get back into this. Now then, our intrepid heroes are all in a little bit of peril. Carousel and Saphira are in an undisclosed location. They seem to have been transported unwillingly through whatever means and magic that is currently occurring in the carnival. And now our particular heroes are enshrouded by a white mist. Well, white and purple mist. What do our heroes do in this instance?
I mean, we can't see or hear anything, correct?
At the moment, yes. Actually, you are all under the effects of silence, blindness, and deafen.
Well, that last one seems a little redundant.
Well, no, sorry. Well, one stops you from speaking, one stops you from hearing, and one stops you from seeing.
Okay.
I'm taking the journey, man.
I'm just like,
All right. So, as this occurs and all of you are enthralled and encased in this feeling, suddenly the air starts to clear, but you're not where you were. Suddenly you are floating in a vast, empty space where there is but glistening lights all around you. There is a gaseous rainbow of colors that are exploding within the background. And you hear small droplets of water, but nothing more, as you are all, at the moment, floating in this space.
Can I
Big
fly?
Floyd playing in the background.
You can attempt to.
That's why I'm going to try to fly. See if I can control my floating with my wings.
All right, so as you spread your wings, adding extra, what's the word? Extra surface area to your body, you start to spin like a top. It starts slowly, but then it goes faster and faster,
I
faster.
retract my wings before I get too bad.
As you retract your wings, it slows and starts to go the other way. And now you're just slowly spinning the other way.
Can I try to correct this and try to see if do I recognize this type of wind? When I've been trying to fly before. Have I met this kind of wind before?
Roll survival at disadvantage. Ow.
12.
12 is your disadvantage roll? All right. So, when you honestly, you have no idea where you are, what the hell is going on, and anything that you're feeling as you attempt to feel something right now, the only thing you feel is an intense wave of euphoria.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Do I see Pharaohs and Rogue?
Yes, as you're slowly, slowly spinning and you come around, you do see them panning as your vision pans. There's one's floating in the space just about 10 feet away from you, and another one floating in the space just about 10 feet away from Roke and about 5 feet away from you. They aren't spinning, but they are just floating. You keep spinning though, and they eventually pan away from your view as you're facing the other way.
I'm gonna do something the next time I see them to see. Well, no, I'm gonna try to wait. I'll let them go.
Yeah. So what are the rest of you doing?
Probably like swung his arms for a bit. Pharaoh's probably swung his arms for a bit, but if he can't there's nothing, he's probably just like, guys, hello.
Oh, I'm just taking the journey, boys. just riding it out. It only lasts for a few hours. It's fine.
So as you speak, your voice starts to echo from unknown areas around you, kind of bouncing off and distorting as it echoes.
This might be a dumb idea. I can't see either. Can I see either of them right now?
You can see both of them actually. You can see Roke just kind of floating there peacefully. You see Orin just spinning very slowly. Slowly, but his vision does actually start to pan over and he sees Roke.
I'm just gonna do something really dumb. I'm just gonna take my gun out, point it away from both of them, and fire and see if anything happens.
Okay, so you fire your gun. All of you hear this resounding echoing. Yeah, I'm gonna need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
That's a 12.
11.
17.
So all of you hear this ringing, and it is uncomfortable. It rings in your ears as it just bounces everywhere. The sound is distorting. You are literally surrounded by this sound, but it hurts a little bit, not enough to do any damage, thankfully.
Ow, my bad.
And Pharos starts to spin and go kind of spin and twirl at the same time. As you hear, echoing in the distance, another voice. You are all experiencing the sound.
Okay, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun. I'm gonna see if something works. Oh, where did I put?
I rolled
That's
myself.
terrifying.
I'm
The
gonna
wisdom
sit
save.
there.
I'm now having a bad trip.
I'm sorry, wait. I wanted to hear what Rogue said real quickly. What?
every time you've done weird shit like that, I've been rolling myself a wisdom save, and I am now having a bad trip.
So both of you start to notice that Roke starts to kind of move frantically. His face is visibly distraught at the moment.
I have no idea if this is what Orin is going to say. I have no idea if this is going to work, but here's trying. And I go, tranquil enemy, and I cast calm emotions on the three of us, making us immune to frightened
Stabilizing.
and charmed.
So as you cast this, I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage.
What's it with the wisdom? Nine.
All right, so thankfully, your spell doesn't backfire, but you hear the sounds, you see the effects start to appear, but instead of calming your emotions, you are all suddenly enveloped in euphoria. You can't stop laughing now. And as you start laughing, you see all around you eyes everywhere. They just slowly open, and they are all different eyes, but they are all there, opened into the void itself. And you hear laughter just echoing again.
I close my
As
eyes
I'm-
and remind myself it only lasts for a few hours.
As I'm laughing, Pharos is just gonna, like, whatever eye looks the closest to him, it's just gonna give it the finger while he's laughing. Just
Does the laughter break my concentration?
No, but the euphoria does. The utter wave of laughter that is taking over all of you. And you start to see the eyes that weren't currently looking at you, although one of them is looking at Pharos, who just flipped it off, simultaneously kind of roll and then stare at you immediately. And their gaze is stuck on you.
Who? Me?
All three of you.
I don't know. I'm not looking.
are we all still laughing?
No, you are no longer enthralled by euphoria, but I now need all of y'all to make a intelligence saving throw, except for Roke.
That is another 12. No.
18.
All right, so all of you feel sorry, both of you, Pharos and Orin, feel a tingling that runs up your spine, almost feeling like you are going to be overtaken by fear. But thankfully, your senses stay with you, and you are able to stay calm by taking a deep breath and relaxing. And
Are any of them, do any of them appear to be within 30 feet of me?
there are at least two eyes that are within 15 feet of you, staring at you.
All right. I'm gonna hit it with the closest one with a thorn whip. Like, Ferris is mad now.
So as you unleash this...
Pull it towards me, I want to pull myself towards it.
Okay. So as you unleash this attack, this thorn whip, It goes off, but you don't see it hit anything, and you hear more laughter. Oh, that's adorable.
I'll show you adorable. Just shot him when we got in the circus. Never trust clowns.
So you start to kind of, you feel uneasy as these eyes are all staring at you. And you hear, specifically behind Orin, who is still, slowly spinning. Still hasn't been able to stop slowly spinning. But he is currently facing both Roke, who is eyes closed and kind of in a fetal position, and Pharos.
I just rolled a 17. I'm stabilizing.
All right, so you see Roke slowly kind of straighten out from the fetal position, having a more calm look on his face. And from behind Orin, you hear a very faint pop as the fattest, roundest clown appears behind you. Orin doesn't notice this currently, but you just see him standing there. He's got blue and yellow pinstriped vest on with a pink overall suspenders, big blue shoes, and white gloves with rainbow colored hair and an extremely large, and I mean large and long, red nose. And he's smiling. Well, hello, boys.
Is